What is up, my cutouts? Cardboard Ninja here, coming at you with the Crossout Day patch notes, or I would love to be going over them, but I think that there needs to be a massive announcement that is not in the patch notes. I checked, double-checked, triple-checked, etc. There has been a nerf to one of the best weapons in the game, or at least a weapon in the game that was becoming very good before it had the opportunity to become phenomenal. That weapon is the ASPECT. So for many people, they have come to me and be like, Cardboard Ninja, hey, now that they've nerfed the no-thung, what's the next best gun, blah, blah, blah. I said the ASPECT, and I was like, people are sleeping on it. They nerfed, not nerfed, but they buffed it recently, does more damage, yada, yada, yada. All sorts of those words, and said those are good guns. Here's the thing. So this is what you're seeing now. People were making ASPECT, machine gun, brick, fucking walker, jerk, jerk, jerk. You know, we all know the meta. If you're playing in Clan Wars right now, this is a standard meta-ish build. You walk around with your cabin exposed on one side, you got your angle over here, and you have your guns in the middle, but these things were outperforming Punishers because of the fact they were 1 pin high and fit on the side of your build. However, now I'm gonna move my mouse closer to that fucking... Hear this? Hear this? You see the lights at the bottom of the screen? Let me spin this around. Guns no worky now. So they nerfed the hurt box of the... not the hurt box. Yeah, they nerfed the hitbox of the ASPECT. This was not in the patch notes. They nerfed it into the ground. So it is very, very, very impossible for you to make the typical 1 pin high ASPECT build. Yes, this is supposed to be a thing about Crossout Day and it's patched and blah, 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 and I'll get to that shit. But basically anything that uses the geometry is fucked. You see that? Notice how the guns don't turn anymore? They used to turn. See how the guns don't turn? ASPECTs are fucked right now. So expect the price of the ASPECT to plummet very, very soon. These used to be a good alternative to Punishers for CW, only because of the fact that, you know, even though they didn't do as much damage after the perk kicked in. Prior to the perk kicking in, they actually did the same damage, if not just a little bit more. But after the Punisher perk kicks in, they don't keep up in damage. Even though that is true, they were defendable. They were basically unremovable guns, and now they are completely and totally fucked. It doesn't work anymore. You need to expose 2 pins of it. If you expose 2 pins of it, it means that you'll end up flagging your build, which means that you can't shoot, you can't use it in one of the meta Chad builds nowadays. Basically, ye old meta Chad builds, as we all know, are the ones where you end up just locking your guns, right? And it doesn't matter if you look all the way to the left, your weapons are flush with your build, so the shots still fire no matter what, no matter where you look. That's one of the meta Chad builds. Yeah, doesn't do that anymore. So if you mount the ASPECT 1 pin high to allow you to actually fire the gun, you will end up flagging your own build. So the ASPECT, rip. You got fucked. You got fucked in the mouth. All right. So let's get back to Crossout Day. I just had to get the most important thing out of the way. I just figured that you guys probably were more interested in a massive nerf to weapons that was not listed. There is, by the way, another weapon that got nerfed. However, I was not able to identify what that weapon is. Please feel free, comments below if you know what it is. But they didn't nerf its stats, they nerfed its geometry. So it no longer fits in builds, it no longer works the way it used to. I'm just going to preface this with I do not know what that gun is, or else I would clearly tell you. But they nerfed one, they nerfed another one. I don't know what it is. Go ahead and take a look, find out what it is, post it in the comments below. If you do, I'll make a video, an update, or, you know, you guys can just thumbs up that comment. I'll pin it so I don't have to make a new video. Anyway, Crossout Day. It's back, baby. So Crossout Day brings back a game mode called Chase. Very long time ago, anybody who ever did raids and does raids now, you note that there's certain different missions available. There's Steel Cradle, there's Frontier Defense, and one of them was called Chase. Chase was around in 2019 and probably existed even before that, where you drove behind Leviathans and you wanted to blow up Leviathan before it reached its destination. And it was supposed to be difficult, but the problem is that the way that they code Leviathans, or code-id Leviathans, was that you couldn't destroy the movement parts. So they could always drive, and you couldn't stop them. So they could always drive. But the only way that they were able to code that was not create damaged dead zones, but they linked cabin hit points to the wheels. And so what everyone did was they grabbed a Tusk booster, and they flew that bitch right into the side of the Leviathan, and instantly one-hit it from full life. And those are the most amazing things I've ever seen. They just fly in, instantly one bang, the Leviathan, it's just dead. Anyway, so they removed that game mode. So many people who are more recent to Crossout have never seen Chase before. That is this, Mad Chase. Mad Chase is almost exactly the same as Chase. The difference is, I believe that you can destroy movement parts, so you can't one-bang the levies as easily. And 2, the Leviathans fight back. So you get spawns of a bunch of little ads. They're annoying. They are right now irrelevant to the game mode. They provide you with ammunition when destroyed. They can F you up because some of them have melee weapons and they'll slice through your frame, but by and large, they're not the problem. The Leviathans are. This Leviathan is real. It's got triple Rippers, and the Rippers are armed with a gajillion additional hit points, so they just aren't easily stripped. Things like that, and you just chase down the Leviathan. So far, I've never lost this game mode. People would wonder what kind of good build that you would use in this, and there's a reason why you saw me with a Bastion cabin earlier in this video. It's because I was about to create one. Basically, you can do it with Gravistars. That was used in the last Chase-like event. You can do it with Retchers, you know, things like that. If you don't have Gravs or Retchers, shotguns. If you can't afford to get close to Leviathan, cannons. I did it with Narwhals. Yeah, no, there's plenty of ways to defeat these things. You get, unfortunately, and this is the sad thing, you only get electronics. Or not electronics, batteries. Oof, sorry. If you got electronics, I wouldn't be so bad. You get batteries. And yeah, other than that, there's 2 additional things each day for points scored in the modes. You get 1, which gives you, of course, stickers and things like that, which is meh. However, you deal 10,000 damage, you get a paint package, and there's a new paint in there, also possible. Don't forget, everyone just simply log in. You get a rogue portrait, which is a girl cutting her hair. She's trying to, you know, look alternative, but whatever, it's worth it because it's free. Profile, background, continuing on. Crossout Day is coming. It's not here yet, but starting May 30th to June 12th, they're going to have Crossout Day brawls. They're going to give you free stuff. There's going to be other stuff that you're going to get, and etc. And they'll give you gifts. It's going to be great. It's not here. This isn't here. I don't know why this is all being listed here. Crossout Day is not here. It's coming. It's not here. Whatever. And then you're going to get, you know, a special workbench where you can produce upgraded parts with predetermined upgrades. They haven't told us what those predetermined upgrades are. So don't leave the video just yet. I'm going to go over the current upgrades, but, you know, I'll give you the information right now. The current upgrades aren't that good. With the exception of a couple, the current upgrades aren't that good, so you can probably hold on to your resources for Crossout Day. There you go. Now you can click off my video. But whatever. New event, Omega Protocol, which is coming the 23rd, which is now. Let's see here. It's an event. Yada, yada, yada. It's 1v1, additional challenges. Or, sorry, you get 1 main additional challenge. You get coupons, coins, stickers. This is the mini pass. I'll be going over that in a second. Let's see here. Optimized locations, which is always good. New game center. Updated the sound of the Jotun, which is okay. I mean, it's the rotation sound of the Jotun. I don't know if that matters. Maybe I'll make a... We'll go over that in Crossout when I'll tab over to there. The explosion sound of wheel drones. I don't know why they would do that. Okay, well, anyway, made sounds better. Added the option to enable automatic detection for games graphic settings. I mean, okay, if this is a PC game, come on now, we all will use PCs. We should know how to do that ourselves. But fair enough, if we are Luddites and don't know what we're doing with our computers, then good news, there's a button for that now. They say that they fixed bugs where you can get stuck in the Ravager's Foothold map. They fixed camera positioning in Terminal 45. They fixed a bug when receiving Rocket Launcher Mastery 6. Yeah. They fixed the frame rate bug, the spark and the flash in the Syndicate Garage, and they fixed a bug where water disappears on Ship Graveyard Map and Patrol. Yeah, okay, that's what they say they fixed. By the way, they didn't notice, they didn't say they fucked the aspect in the mouth. They didn't say that. So, let's go on to Crossout. Omega Protocol. So, this is the Yield Battle Pass. I'm certainly sure everybody here has already looked at it themselves or... Ignore that pop-up. Or had it explained to them from somebody else. So we're going to go over it extraordinarily quickly. The first 6, you get effectively nothing. Then you get a Garidia leg. Enjoy. After they nerfed Garidias. But please note, the Garidia legs are going to be used in this crafting. Crafting from this workbench. You get a Falco, which can be used, I believe, to produce a petrol. So that is good. They give you a bunch of cosmetics, they give you forest mimicry, then they give you trombones. So expect trombones and Garidia legs to either go down or up in price based on what you need to craft, but based on what they're going to give you to craft, expect the price to linger. They give CK. This time around, they're actually some of the more interesting CKs. I mean, everybody's got the Odin, but another Odin, and the Secutor. I never expected this to come back. This was actually a CK that was in a battle pass. The rest of these, meh. I mean, they're okay. I mean, this is kind of cool. Dharma's Umbrella for the boar. That could be interesting. But other than that, the capstone is the Thyrus, and of course another Gamblin crate. What you can craft for your Chronoses, so all legendaries are going to require Chronos. The epics are going to require either a trombone or a Garidia leg, and of course you unlock these along the way. So you'll end up being able to produce Falcos, and you'll be able to end up producing Petrels, and you'll end up being able to produce Chronoses, provided that you have upgraded Garidias and upgraded trombones, which of course you can get with, you get the idea. You've seen the events before, yada yada yada. So let's go over these really fast. This is the Griffin cabin is decent. It's got durability, maximum speed, mass limit, more or less a decent cabin. If you don't have a Griffin and you want to pick one up, this is not a bad fusion. It's got that maximum speed on it, so that's great. The Spark, durability, damage, range of fire, decent Spark. But before I go over the remainder of these, they're mostly not worth it, because you've got to get a Chronos for it. To be honest, I don't find most of these worth it. Harvester is out of the meta. I don't see a good reason to pick it up. The Spark isn't the Flash, right? That's a good example. There's a good reason why I'm saying that, because the Spark doesn't decrease weapon attack speed, things like that. I even recently sold my Spark recently just because it's not that good. But this is a decently fused one, almost, I would say, almost God-fused one. Honestly, the damage of the Spark isn't why you get it, so you would want this is not a perfect fusion. This is probably, arguably not a perfect fusion, but I would personally I like durability, but not a perfect fusion, not a perfect fusion. Durability, melee damage is a perfect fusion. This is, there are multiple different perfect fusion for Retries. This is one of them. More durability on a Retry is always a phenomenal thing. More damage and rate of fire, which is damage, is always a phenomenal thing. So if you like more damaging Retries, now is your time. The Reaper, they keep giving this away. This has been the staple of the last, like, 3 battle passes. You could get this Reaper. If somehow you wanted Reapers and somehow didn't pick up the exact same Reaper from the previous battle passes, they're still selling it. The Imp for the exact same... Oh, spread stability. I don't know. I'd have to actually look at the available upgrades for the Imp. You know what? I'll do it. It would be the same as any machine gun, so pardon me while I take a look. Range of fire, actually, range of fire would have been much better. Much better. So not perfectly fused. Sorry to have to do that live for you. The wrong one, because there's just so many of these goddamn things going on. Kaiju, durability, penetration ability, and projectile speed. Projectile speed is great. Durability is great. Penetration ability... that's not that good. 5% more damage is technically better, so not perfectly fused. Arbiter, durability, damage, spread. This is perfectly fused for an Arbiter. The ML200 legs, arguably perfectly fused. You do want... so here's the thing. With the invention of the Pegasus, power penalty reduction is not that good. You want, believe it or not, acceleration efficiency, because you can get power penalty reduction from the Pegasus. So this is not a perfectly fused ML200. I would highly recommend avoiding it. By the way, the power unit, this is important, not perfectly fused power unit. So, yes, I'm going to have to do this one by one. If you're looking for a power unit, it's not perfectly fused. So the one that's being offered is projectile speed bonus. Projectile speed is not DPS. What you want is weapon charge speed bonus. That's what you want. That's a perfectly fused one. The maximum and optimum range boost is silly, only because of the fact that this is fucking 5% worse than this. This is a minor note, but like 15% of your bonus to maximum and optimum range, your bonus and maximum and optimum range are increased by projectile speed. Projectile speed are your maximum and optimum ranges. So believe it or not, projectile speed bonus is just a better version of this other fusion. But long story short, the perfect fusion is weapon charge speed bonus, and they're not giving that to you. So honestly, if it were me, which, you know, I'm also making decisions in this battle pass, I'm going to avoid this, and I would argue that so too should you. This is a decently, if not perfectly fused cheetah. It's got durability, which is great, bonus speed, which is great, neutrino, which is durability, and zoom, which is, I think, the only things you can really get on a neutrino. If you're looking for a fused neutrino, you can, but I don't believe it's worth the trombone. Fused Yanabe, it is a arguably perfectly fused Yanabe. or Jonaby, Yanaby, however you want to pronounce it. Everybody right now, if you are trying to get into CW and you're trying to play the meta, jerk, 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 blah, 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 congratulations. For one fucking Garidia leg, you can get into endgame. There it is. Perfect Fusion Humpback. This is what everybody wants. This is what everybody needs to get into CW endgame. The Humpback is currently an S tier cabin. It is probably, for Clan Wars, top 2, if not top 1 cabin in the game, and this is the perfect fusion of it. And it's available for one Garidia leg. I'm just going to highlight that. If you guys are looking for your gateway into endgame, here it is. Use the Garidia leg. Purchase it. Don't sit there. Don't fuck up. Just get this one. Get it. This is just a hint. It's a subtle fucking hint. Real subtle. Purchase this with your money. Use this leg. Use these resources. Click this button. Obtain this item. All right. Continuing on. And by the way, it looks like a cardboard box. This is probably the reason why I like this cabin so much. Oh my god, wouldn't that be amazing if I actually became a YouTube partner or some shit with this game and they gave a CK for fucking the Humpback and it was just a cardboard ninja Humpback? Ha! Continuing on. Triggers. I believe these are perfectly fused. Thermal effect rate. No, these are not perfectly fused. So thermal effect rate is good because it means that you heat things faster, but the trigger heats things, if I recall correctly, at a rate of I think it's 1% per tick for 10 ticks. This would mean that you would get 15% heat instead of 10% heat. That's all well and good, and that's great. That is bonus damage, but believe it or not, it's not the perfect fusion. You need range, because the problem is these don't shoot that far. So both the trigger and the destructor, you want range of fire, not thermal effect rate. The Caucus, durability damage, target lock speed. Not perfectly fused, in my opinion, but the Caucus has gone through so much shit right now, it doesn't really matter. Durability damage and spread stability, I'd say that those are decent Spectre 2s. Durability, reload time, active, speed, it's fine. It's a decent owl. Yeah, reloading time is good, though technically you don't really need reload time, but the activation speed is nice. Continuing on, there's also the other Battle Pass, which is... where is it? Is it not out? Am I not able to review it? Huh. I guess that's it then. Oh no! I thought there was another Battle Pass. Shows what I know. Alright, well then, there you have it. Gone through the current Omega protocol, its rewards, its crafting, and all that stuff like that. Honestly, it's a skip. By the way, if I recall correctly, I do know that there will be the next... I do know it's on the next pass. Shit, I'm sorry. I do know it off the top of my head, but I don't have access to it visually right now. My apologies. There's only like a couple things in that as well that are worth crafting, to be honest. From that entire list, if you're interested in what I'm getting, it's going to be a Thunderbolt and some Hermes, because honestly, those boosters aren't very... not boosters, but the things that are craftable there also aren't very interesting. But yeah, there you go. That's the video for you. Just remember, Aspects nerfed. Didn't they? For some reason, they didn't bring it up. And also the Reaper slash... Executioner, Prosecutor, everything with penetration ability, still fucked. They didn't fix it. So, alright then, hope you guys have a good one. If you guys find out the other weapon that was nerfed, please just drop it in the comments below so we can thumbs up it so we can see what it is. Thank you all for watching my boring videos. Peace. For the content!